my name is Miriam, and a lot of you know that I'm a researcher for the university. I'm actually supported by the Panasonic Foundation. And my research is on digital entrepreneurship, and my advisor is Dr. Cesar Mandera. Anyone take a course with him? You have? He's great, right? He's wonderful, and if you have the opportunity to take a class with him, I definitely recommend it. He has an EE background, and he's an associate professor of entrepreneurship. He secured $8 million, over $8 million in research funds. He has 2 companies out of the EDC. He's had a lot of successful ventures that he brought to exit. And yeah, definitely take a class with him if you can. So, entrepreneurship classifications. The European Union actually classifies digital entrepreneurship as being associated with specific types of technology like cloud-based computing or cloud-based applications like Google Docs. But just because your local pizzeria uses Google Docs doesn't mean that it's a digital business. I mean, I think that many of you would agree. So the parameters that we looked at were whether the business was providing a product or service, the type of offering, if it's physical or digital, if it's mass-produced or customized, and their stage of the revenue stage. So what we have found is that the 2 parameters in the middle there are the most important when you're looking at digital entrepreneurship. So we classify digital entrepreneurship as companies that include Facebook or the company that does SurveyMonkey, because their offering is both digital and mass-produced. And this definition provides for a timeless application of the research. Is this stuff going over your head, or everybody's following me?
That's right.
Over your head. Okay, so let me bring it back down. So digital entrepreneurship, the importance of entrepreneurship in general is that it provides for the creation of jobs. And if we're able to remove the barriers to entry, if we're able to classify digital entrepreneurship separate from regular entrepreneurship, then we can take a look at different areas that would help us study entrepreneurship in that way. So, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs in the U.S. actually fail. And if we can separate digital entrepreneurship from traditional entrepreneurship, then we can classify digital entrepreneurs separately and be able to study them and have statistics just on digital entrepreneurship, because there are different resources associated with digital companies rather than traditional companies. So the research questions. What characteristics distinguish a digital startup from a non-digital startup? What current census and industry data can be used to track digital startups? And like I said, there's no separation between a traditional startup and a digital startup. So we can't study them separately. We can't look at census information and separate digital from traditional. So a pizzeria is the same as Facebook in that sense. Do digital entrepreneurs exhibit characteristics different from the founders of non-digital startups? So if any of you have taken Business 101, there's this huge list that you get, and it says, you know, these are the type of characteristics that you have to be a successful entrepreneur. And the characteristics that it takes to go out there and start a brick and mortar business seem to be different than it does to sit in your garage and build something that's digital, that requires a computer. So we also look at, do the competencies of digital entrepreneurs evolve differently than those of founders of non-digital startups? And then how can the curriculum and business incubation policy be tailored to support digital entrepreneurship? Because we are at a university, we want to know how this can help us here and with the Enterprise Development Center, the incubation center that we have back on Block Street. So how are we doing this? We're taking a look at interviews from entrepreneurs, and then we're transcribing and classifying that information. We're analyzing it, and then we evaluate that information. So this is the Enterprise Development Center, and they currently have $80 million a year in revenue. When you look at the progress that we've had, we actually have 40 hours of interview audio, and that's from 35 companies within the EDC. And I've actually taken those audio files and they were transcribed, and then I took them and put them into Excel. After Excel, we uploaded it into Atlas TI, which is a analysis software that does qualitative analysis, and we're coding that information currently. So if any of you have taken statistics, there's a limit to the confidence interval with 35 interviews. So the New Jersey Technology Council has provided us with interviews that they have done.